How's it going, guys? It's Brother Jared here. I want to talk about something that I haven't really spoke on before, and that's Channel Awesome. Now, I have made a video about Doug Walker, who is, the nostalgia critic. The guy's a cuck. I mean, he's the definition of a beta male. YouTube is full of cucks, and some of them I actually do like. Angry Video Game Nerd, I mean, the guy's a cuck just by looking at him. Mike Matei is an even bigger cuck. But I swear to God, I've spent countless hours watching those two cucks, man. Playing those James and Mike Monday games. Nostalgia is pretty big with me. I grew up as a gamer. By the way, I hope you like my collared shirt. I decided to become a Proud Boy, so I'm going to be wearing a lot of collared shorts. But the only thing is, like, I can't afford Fred Perry's because they're like fucking $85 just for a stupid shirt. So I'm just going to wear, you know, these fucking thrift store collar shirts because I keep it punk rock, you know what I'm saying? I shop at Walmart too, which I guess isn't very punk, but I don't give a fuck. But anyways, guys, yeah, Channel Awesome is a communist site. It's a communist channel. Channel Awesome is before Channel Awesome, there was something called Blistered Thumbs, and I actually know two people who were in that. One of them, I'm not sure if he was in it, but I think he was. But there was Micah Curtis, which I believe he it was kind of behind the scenes. I think he was like the writer. And then another guy, forgive me if I mispronounce his name, Jason Parara, also goes by the name Lord Cat, spelled K-A-T. He was around back in the day, like back in the old school YouTube days. Back when everyone was trying to be an angry video game nerd, and he was no exception. Lord Cat, he had this little gimmick called Until We Win, and it was actually pretty entertaining. And the guy beat some really hard games. Silver Surfer, which is known as the like most hard game on the NES. Ghosts and Goblins. A lot of other really difficult games, and I have mad props for that guy. ABGN did beat some of those games too, but it took him a long time. But anyways, so this guy, I believe he was part of Channel Awesome. I know that he was Channel Awesome, but I'm not so sure about Blistered Thumbs. But yeah, he said that he didn't like working with some of the people, and he could tell they had an agenda, I believe, and that yeah, he didn't enjoy it. So that should tell you something right there. And I don't really know what else happened with him. He seems like a really cool guy, though. I really like this Jason dude. He has a channel, Jason Pereira, or however you spell his name. Forgive me, guys, but just keyword Lord Cat and you'll find it. But anyways, okay, on to Micah Curtis. So this guy's really interesting. First of all, I want to give him a shout out because he's a brother in the Lord, and I respect everyone that's a Christian YouTuber because I can tell you guys, we are far from few. Now with my boy Micah, he seems like he's kind of one of those guys that keeps to himself. Maybe is a little bit, reserved. And he denied my friend request on Facebook, which I will admit was kind of upsetting, but I'm sure the guy has his reasons. I'm not going to judge him for that. But it is what it is. So did fucking, what's his name? Silent Rob. Silent Rob, the guy who's part of Face Destroyer Inc., he also didn't respond to my friend request, but it is what it is, man. The internet is just a silly, fucked up place to begin with. But anyways, guys, yeah, Micah Curtis, he really exposes a lot of the comic book industry and like all the feminism and stuff that's going on, like with all these feminist superheroes and these like white male hating superheroes and shit. He gets mad views too. The guy gets a lot of views. I think his feminist Marvel, like what is it, exposing Marvel videos got like at least 200K views, which is mighty impressive because I've never gotten a fraction of that. But yeah, I really do like the guy, and I know for sure that he did work with Blistered Thumbs. And yeah, he said in his video, he actually made a video about this. You can check it out, where he said he too could tell there was an agenda, and that he didn't like the people that he was working with. And a funny little story before I forget. So you guys know the Amazing Atheist. This guy is hilarious. He shoves bananas up his ass. The guy's a total weirdo. And I will admit I do kind of respect that because I'm somewhat of a weirdo myself. But amazing atheist, and I don't agree with his, obviously with his beliefs since I said I was a Christian, but I do respect him for speaking out against feminism and stuff like that, and that he was actually going to work for them. I think that maybe he even was, but they found out that he stood up against communist ideology like feminism, and so they tried to make him look bad. And so they just started talking a bunch of shit, like how he shoves bananas up his ass and stuff like that, which I thought was really hilarious. But it is what it is, man. Micah Curtis is a really cool guy, but I can tell that he seems like a troubled young man. Well, I don't think he's too young, but he seems like one of those people who's had a really hard life, and I can sympathize with that because I've had my share of struggles too. And that's another reason I don't hold grudges of people who, may not add me on Facebook or some petty shit like that because I don't really know what they're going through. And I'm not going to judge them based off of that. But if, I'm just going to say right now, if like him or Silent Rob is one of those people that judges people based off of, fucking whatever, stupid petty things, well then yeah, they can go fuck themselves. But I mean, honestly don't think either of them did that. It is what it is, though. I don't mean to like sound like some kind of like, oh my god, I'm just talking shit because they didn't add me. Because really, I'm not talking shit. I'm actually telling these guys, I'm telling you guys that these dudes really helped expose Channel Awesome. But aside from Micah and Jason, the best way you can tell that Channel Awesome is run by commies is the content. Nostalgia Critic, if I can talk today, is a huge communist. You can tell, number one, by the way he dresses. That red tie, red is a symbolism for communism. And the hat, too. You know what's funny is even Mario had a communist hat. There's a theory you can check out about how Mario was a communist. And at the end of the levels, you know how he jumps on that communist flag, the white flag with the red star? That's a communist flag. And so, yeah, I do think that Japan really did have something going there to where they made him communist, which is kind of hilarious. And I don't know why they did that. But yeah, I totally do believe the theory that Mario is a communist, which is really mind-blowing and honestly kind of sad. But, you can't help but love Mario. But anyways, and you can't help but love Doug Walker either. I like Doug. He's a cute little cuck. He's the kind of cuck you want to pet on the head and say, "You're a cute little cuck," He's just a cute kid. Well, he's like in his 30s. He's bald now. But he's a man child, so more or less he's a kid. And he bows down to feminist agenda because that's what cucks do. And so does his brother. Him and his brother, I think they co-own Channel Awesome, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. But all I do know is Doug Walker. He's like the big wig guy. His channel is the biggest thing on Channel Awesome, and you can tell there's a communist agenda even in his videos. And the funny thing is, guys, you can tell a lot of what people believe political wise by their reviews. They always give bad reviews to things that are hated by feminists or people related to that. They give bad reviews to things that, how should I say this, things that they feel reflect badly maybe on communism, or are maybe just aren't popular with other communists. So don't think that it's just like, nostalgia, or it's just like, preference or something like that. I can tell you guys there's much more than meets the eye with stuff like that. So you really have to think outside the box to understand people like Doug Walker. And as much as I hate to say this, as much as I really loathe to even say this, I think that even Angry Video Game Nerd has somewhat of an agenda. The reason I know this is because if I'm not mistaken, Doug Walker was actually in the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. And I remember watching that. I don't remember much of it, but God, that movie was awful. The movie was fucking awful. And so was the black guy, Andre the Black Nerd. And if I'm not mistaken, even he has connections with Doug Walker. I know that he does the same kind of content where a lot of it is just very cynical and pretentious. I honestly can't stand most YouTubers who have more than like 1 million subs. I really can't. Even like 800,000. That's about the time when people really start selling out. You can tell when someone sells their soul. There's very few exceptions. I would say one exception is Jew Mario, who was a beautiful human being, and God bless his soul, rest in peace. But there's very few people that I have a lot of respect for that had like, 800K and more subs. It's so easy to cuck yourself out and sell your soul, guys. So I just want to end this video by saying it's not worth it in the end. Doug Walker's time, it's pretty much over, I think, anyways. Even though his little, nostalgia critic character, his gimmick, still seems to be somewhat popular, it's eventually going to fizzle out, and so is Angry Video Game Nerd. Angry Video Game Nerd isn't nearly as popular as it used to be, and quite honestly, his content really isn't that great anymore. I mean, it's somewhat watchable, but his older stuff is way better. And I know I sound like a hipster saying that, but you can only hold a gimmick for so long. So once, people like Doug Walker and Boogie2988, with his Francis character, and people like that, once the you can only hold a gimmick for so long. Once you play that character for so long, you're not going to be able to anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what'll happen with Channel Awesome. But honestly, yeah, they can go fuck themselves. I mean, they're feminists, they're communists, and I disagree with all their ideologies. And anyone who feels like it's okay to mix, politics and crap with entertainment, I think is shady to begin with. And it obviously shows they have an agenda. Anyways, guys, sorry this video is a little bit long. Hope you enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe to Micah Curtis and Jason Pereira. I'll be sure to leave links in the description. Anyways, guys, have an awesome day. God bless, and I'll see you later.